Kathmandu is burning with protest, and the shockwaves are reaching Moscow and Beijing. Nepal's Prime Minister KP Oli is gone, and with him, China's strongest ally in the Himalayas and Russia's unexpected foothold in South Asia. What does his fall mean for the balance of power in the region? When Nepal's Prime Minister KP Oli stepped down amid violent protests, the upheaval reverberated far beyond Kathmandu. His departure sent ripples across Asia, particularly to two global powers, China and Russia. Oli wasn't just another leader in Kathmandu. He was seen as a champion of closer ties with Beijing and Moscow, often at the expense of Nepal's traditional partner India. So, what does his resignation mean for Nepal's foreign policy, for the projects already underway, and for the ordinary Nepali people? Let's break it down in simple terms. Nepal might be a small country squeezed between two giants, India and China. But what happens in Kathmandu doesn't stay in Kathmandu. It affects trade, investment, security, and even global rivalries. Oli's exit raises big questions. Will Chinese-backed infrastructure projects slow down? Will Russia lose a foothold in South Asia? And could India and the United States step back in to fill the gap? During Oli's time in power, Nepal moved noticeably closer to China. He backed Beijing's Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, which is essentially China's global infrastructure plan, building railways, highways, ports and power plants to improve connectivity while also expanding China's influence. Think of the BRI like a giant web of roads and pipes linking countries to China at the center. Oli wanted Nepal firmly woven into that web. He pushed for rail links across the Himalayas, supported Chinese-backed hydropower plants, and leaned into Beijing's promises of investment. But this closeness came at a cost. Relations with India soured, especially after Oli made fiery remarks about disputed border areas like Lipulekh. Many Nepalis began to see his China-first approach as unbalanced, leaving the country too dependent on one neighbor. With Oli out of the picture, China faces several headaches. Oli was China's go-to man in Kathmandu. His personal support gave political cover for projects that weren't always popular with other parties. Without him, Beijing can't be sure Nepal's next leader will push its agenda as strongly. Take the Trans-Himalayan Railway Plan, for example. It's an ambitious idea. Imagine trains running from Tibet into Nepal. But projects like this are expensive and risky, and critics warn they could trap Nepal in debt. Oli's absence means these deals might be delayed, watered down, or even shelved. On Nepal's streets, anti-corruption protesters have already linked foreign deals with political elites. Beijing's close association with Oli risks becoming a liability, making ordinary Nepalis more skeptical of Chinese involvement. Russia is not usually seen as a major player in South Asia, but under Oli, Moscow gained ground. He met Russian President Vladimir Putin, expanded scholarships for Nepali students, and even discussed direct air links between Kathmandu and Moscow. These steps made Russia more visible in Nepal's foreign policy. Moscow also saw Nepal as part of its bigger vision of a multipolar world, where power isn't dominated by the West or any one country. In this picture, Nepal's friendship was symbolically important. A small state showing it could work with Russia despite global tensions. But Oli's departure creates uncertainty for Russia too. Much of the recent progress was thanks to Oli's personal ties with Putin. Without him, the warmth could fade into mere formality. The airlink talks, energy projects and scholarships were still at early stages. A new government might not see them as priorities. One of the thorniest issues is Nepali nationals reportedly recruited into Russia's war effort in Ukraine. Oli had quietly begun talks with Putin about this. His exit could complicate negotiations, especially if his successor takes a harder public stance. Oli's resignation is far more than the downfall of one man. It is a moment that could redefine Nepal's place in the world. For 2 decades, KP Oli was the most visible symbol of Nepal's shift towards China and, more recently, Russia. His backing of Beijing's Belt and Road Initiative and his personal rapport with Vladimir Putin made him a valuable partner for both powers. Now, with his abrupt exit, those carefully cultivated ties look fragile. The immediate future brings uncertainty. Ambitious projects, rail links through the Himalayas, Chinese-backed hydropower plants, and potential Russia-Nepal air connections may now stall. Beijing and Moscow will scramble to preserve their influence, but without Oli's political cover, progress could slow or be scaled back. For India, the door may be reopening. Long sidelined by Oli's China-first policies, New Delhi could attempt to reset relations and reclaim its influence in Kathmandu. The United States too may see an opportunity to reassert itself under its Indo-Pacific strategy, offering development aid as an alternative to Beijing's loans. At its core, Nepal faces the perennial challenge of balance, securing investment and growth without surrendering sovereignty. Oli's fall has put the country back at a crossroads under the watchful gaze of every major power.